Yes, everyone, you know what time it is. It's your boys Jack and Dave here to give our reactions to all the different creator predictions from around our lovely Spurs community. We're facing Everton this time. Sean Dyche could be a spicy one, maybe could be an easy one for Spurs. Feels a bit like sort of the Forest game, where kind of might have a variety of predictions, where some people think it could be a close game, others think that maybe Spurs could run away with this one, have, maybe a bit of an easy sort of Saturday, but Dave, before we get to the creator predictions, what are your thoughts ahead of it? Maybe just quickly.
Yeah, look, Jack, there's a huge opportunity for us to change the narrative going into the January transfer window, but also into the new year. If we can pick up 3 points here with Liverpool and Arsenal playing each other this weekend, we can close that gap at the top, and we're only 6 points behind now as we speak. So it's a huge opportunity for us to change the narrative around Tottenham heading into the new year, and I want the boys to do that.
Let's hope that they do that. And we'll start off with Sonny Talk Spurs. He's going to set the tone here. And we're going to go from there and see how the rest of the predictions sort of compare in contrast. But everybody, if you can for us, smash that like button. Do get your comments in on sort of what your favorite predictions were. And also as well, get your predictions as well into those comments. But yeah, let's start off with Sonny Talk Spurs.
Jack and Dave, it's Sonny here from Sonny Talk Spurs, and you want my prediction ahead of the Everton game. But before I get into this, spot on last week, wasn't I, for my Nottingham Forest? So I will take every win I can get in this predictions. I'm not keeping track, but maybe that's your job to keep track. But you want my prediction for the Everton game. This is going to be tricky. Everton are on fantastic form, and if they didn't have that 10-point deduction, they'd be above Chelsea, which is quite funny, to be fair. But yeah, Sean Dyche is going to be a tricky test. This is probably one of the teams Ange doesn't like to face with that low block. But what do I think? We haven't got Basuma, we haven't got a Dogi. That's not going to be ideal, but Emerson will slot in, and that midfield will have to be worked out. I'm not really sure off the top of my head what I would go with thus far. But I believe we're going to be on a bit of fine form. I can imagine a 2-1 win for Tottenham. I want to back the boys this week. I want to bring that positive Christmas energy and hope they get a win. See you later.
It's me.
See you later, Sonny Talk Spurs. Well done, sir. And I can get with that, Dave. I can get with a 2-1. I mean, Sean Dyche, he's going to make it tough. There's going to be periods where it's going to be a low block. There's going to be periods where all of a sudden, they're feels like 6 Everton players, battling for headers, right outside of our, penalty area. They just all of a sudden launch everybody forward. Will be kind of like I said to you, maybe before we've even recorded anything, I think in the back end one time, I think it might be a sort of a different type of tempo and a different type of game than what we're used to, and sort of how Everton play, really.
Yeah, look, Jack, I think Everton, of course, they're going to sit low block, look to hit on the counter, and look to make the most of their set pieces, whether it's through free kicks, throw-ins, or corner kicks. They're going to look to make the most of them. I wouldn't be surprised to see another towel boy this weekend wiping the ball down for throw-ins and stuff like that, Jack, for them. But one thing I looked at or clocked when he played Burnley is he sort of blocked up the middle and put the onus on Burnley to go out wide. And, of course, they didn't have the sort of what would you call it, the sort of caliber of player to be able to create anything from out there. And I think he'll do something very similar to us, look to frustrate us down the middle, nullify some of our players through the middle, and put the onus on us to put balls in the box and fancy his defenders to deal with them all day long. So I do think our wingers going to have to be exceptional in this game, but 2-1 it very well could be.
We'll need another day of Sonny just cooking whatever fullback he's up against. He's done it 2 times in a row. Can he do it a third against whoever he comes up against this time around? Let's head on over to Holly's Hotspur, see what she has to say. And I like her Christmas outfit also as well for this one, Dave. She's trying to battle you, in the battle for the Santa Spursmas. Big up to Holly Hotspur. Let's see what she has to say.
Holly from Holly's Hotspurs. I'm here to give my match preview for the game against Everton. Sorry I couldn't do the last one. Life just got absolutely mental. But anyway, I'm going to stop babbling, talk about Everton. And the fact is that I see this one being very interesting. I think after their 10-point deduction, Everton have had a rocket up their butt. I know they were playing quite well before the deduction came in, but they are on another planet. Dyche has got them playing really well. I mean, they've managed to, I think it's 4 games on the trot now where they've picked up points. So playing them is probably not the best time to go at them. But hey, we're at home, and I've got a great feeling with this being the last home game of 2023. I feel like everybody's going to get behind the lads, and we're hopefully going to win 2-1. My only concerns are obviously the fact of Mykolenko and Braithwaite potentially keeping Sonny and Decky a little bit quiet, but I'm sure we're fine at Braithwaite, because as we know with this Spurs team, we are managing to find goals all over the place, especially with Richarlison. It would be great to see him score against Everton. But anyway, Merry Christmas and come on you Spurs.
Merry Christmas. Come on, you Spurs. Well done, Holly. A bit on Mykolenko. I kind of sort of thought he was a donkey at one stage, and now he's kind of looked a bit better, under Sean Dyche. So I don't really know what to think anymore when it comes to him. It's almost like kind of with what he had with like Charlie Taylor, I believe it was, at left back, for Burnley. He kind of made him kind of look a lot better probably than what he actually is for some reason. But yeah, I mean, it could be a difficult game, but it also, let's see if maybe we can ride a bit of our form. But she is right. Everton are also carrying a lot of form. They're confident in themselves. They're not going to, really go into this probably with much nerves really at all, just because, they're kind of in flying form. They're probably going to, finish well above relegation. And I think they're just, Dave, it's kind of a free hit for them almost in a way, if you were to put it that way.
Look, I think they also look at that now, that every game is sort of a free hit. I mean, look, first of all, Holly missed last week because I think she was going out to get the Christmas hat to try and rival me. So put in the comments below whose Christmas hat is nicer, mine or Holly's. But look, Jack, when it comes to Everton, one thing that I think the points deduction has actually done is galvanise that team, where they're actually, they put in more cohesive performances together than what they ever have done before. Their backs are to the wall and they're all willing to muck in and fight, and that makes a dangerous animal. But I do think, hopefully, we can make the home advantage count. I think if this was away, I'd be a lot more weary. But the fact that we're at home, I have a bit of confidence that we should deal with them. However, I believe our home form is actually worse than our away form this season. So let's wait and see what happens. But I do think we should have enough to get over the line.
That is a very confusing thing about Spurs this year, is that, the home form has not been the same as the away form. But let's move on to our next one. And I'm not even sure who I put next. So let's see who it is. There he is, Lee.
Lee the Dorset Spur, back with another prediction. You'd like to think that this is going to be a home banker against Everton, a team that's been around the bottom of the table, has had some difficult periods over the last few seasons, but they are coming into this game on really, really great form. And so I don't think it's going to be as easy as we'd like it to be. Our suspensions are now going to kick in and add to our ever-growing injury list. But this is one we really, really need to win. These are the games that we need to rack up those points if we're going to keep in touch with those right at the top. The aspiration has built to a top 4 finish this year, considering we was expected to be battling relegation at the start of the season with Harry Kane leaving. So for me, I've got a sneaking feeling that we will sneak it, maybe a 2-1, but I wouldn't be majorly disappointed if we didn't come away with an entertaining Desmond. Up the Spurs.
How's it?
Nice one, Lee. An entertaining Desmond. I mean, I don't know if I walk away with that too happy, probably, a Desmond, because that means, we end up conceding goals, which isn't fun, I think, in this sort of type of game, because I just feel like it's probably going to be set pieces or some type of goal that we always see us probably concede if it's going to be 2. And then we don't really get over the line. It doesn't end up being, a thriller. Like a 3-2 is always fun, but a 2-2 at Desmond, I don't know, Dave, maybe at home, again, would be a bit of a sour taste in my mouth.
Look, it'd be a sour taste in my mouth because any time we seem to get an opportunity to maybe make up a couple of points or get into that top 4, a bit like last season where we had multiple opportunities, we would have fumbled it again. So it'll be a huge concern to me if that were the case. Look, I think Lee is right, though. I think it is going to be one of them where it's going to be a frustrating game. We're going to have to be hungry dogs. Remember, Jack, hungry dogs run faster. And I think we're going to have that bit of dog in us in order to battle it out with Everton. I think it's actually one of them games where you're going to have to battle it out first for the right to play. So it's up to us to battle it out for the right to play and then use that advantage once we gain that right. But I just want to big up Lee on his commitment, by the way. He done this while he was on his, while he was working. He was driving from place to place. So fair play to him for the commitment on it. And is it just me, or is he the only person I've ever seen with a window wiper on his sunroof?
I thought that was just the back roof. I didn't see anything on the sunroof. If there's one on the sunroof as well, that's pretty impressive. I mean, that's almost like spaceship sort of type of tech. But, you know, nowadays, you know, I guess cars can really almost do anything, Dave, you know, except fly. You know, that's the one thing left, you know, that they're left to do. Before check, maybe indeed. But let's head on over to We Are Tom TV. Good to see Ben and get to his prediction. But thank you, Lee, the Dorset Spur, for his earlier. Big up to that, man.
How's it going, guys? Ben from We Are Tottenham TV here to give my prediction for the big game against Everton this weekend, and it's going to be a really difficult one, to be honest, guys. I think that Everton coming into this in full confidence, in firing form, it looks like that 10-point deduction has really reinvigorated them. Look, Spurs are on the back of 2 wins as well. I think we're just about going to get the job done. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Spurs, but don't get it twisted, guys. This is going to be a really difficult game. So I'm really worried about the left back and the left centre back situation with Destiny Udogie being out. It's going to be interesting to see which way Ange goes. I just really hope he doesn't put Emerson at left back, because it was just an absolute disaster having them at Wolves. But I'm going for a 2-1 win. I'm staying positive. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Nice one, Ben. And I mean, I didn't think Emerson was as bad as people think. I think he's, you know, didn't have a great game against Wolves, because I think he was asked to play far more maybe in midfield than maybe he was really comfortable with, because I think he found himself in sort of positions where he was sort of asked to actually do something with the ball other than sort of retain possession. And I think he sometimes struggles with finding an actual incisive pass in sort of those final third type of areas. But building out from the back, I don't think he's actually all that bad sometimes. I think he can, you know, pick out the right pass, and I think he doesn't give the ball away too much. Of course, in the Man City game, I can see again why people would pick that out, but I think that was always going to be a game where we were going to be asking a lot from him in possession, again, in a position that he's not usually playing in or really, you know, training in all that often. So I think he has done a job for us in a variety of positions. And I think he even did better than Ben Davies did, actually, at left back, you know, at Crystal Palace. And so for the most part, I mean, for what we have available, I think Emerson is sort of the best choice. I don't really know what else we would do, really, other than just put Emerson at left back. I think that's maybe, sadly, the only choice. But I think it's not as bad as Ben makes it out.
Look, I thought Emerson filled in okay. I think we're forgetting what a defender's first job is to do, regardless of whether what Ange wants to do on the ball. The first job is to defend, and I thought Emerson done that. Left back, centre back, all right back this season. But look, I think maybe where I actually think Emerson was let down by Basuma. I think if you go back and watch that game, and I think there was the game against Fulham as well, if I'm correct. Anytime he moved the ball onto Basuma for him to sort of move it, he just gave it back to him and started doing 5-yard passes between them. But the whole idea is to find Basuma so he can get on the ball and start progressing it and stuff like that. So, look, I'm okay with Emerson playing left back defensively. I think he's solid. On the ball, there's still some question marks. But, look, at the end of the day, he's filling in. He's doing a job. He's not left-footed. And defensively, he's sound. So I'm okay with Emerson filling in there. Ben Davies can't, because he's been exposed this season at left back against Crystal Palace and at Fulham. Both games, Van de Ven had to come across and cover him. He just doesn't have the legs to play left back in this system. So Emerson is our only option. But Ben is right as well, though. It is going to be a tight game. But look, I do hope we get the win for the guy. You know, it's a special time of year for him and his partner Ashley. You know, they're expecting a baby anytime soon. So people in the comments, get below and wish them the best of luck, and hopefully we get the win for your Benji and sign off before you take a little hiatus away from games and stuff like that with a victory for you.
Congrats to you, Ben, really, and hopefully, like Dave said, grab the win for you and get, you know, a solid victory. I think you'll take any sort of 3 points and continue on this fine form of ours. But big up to you, Benji.
We'll have to become scrappy-doo this weekend, Jacko.
And going on to Spurs Between the Lines, Mia sent in her prediction. Big up to Mia.
Hi, this is Mia from Spurs Between the Lines. This is my score prediction for Tottenham versus Everton. I think it's going to be a close game. I think what we've having players out that we've got, I think, is going to make it a bit more difficult. Who we're going to play in the middle of the park, obviously, is a question. Personally, I would probably play Kulu in the middle alongside Sarr. And I don't know, I think it's going to have to be one of Skip or Højbjerg. I just don't think there really is any other option, as we know that Gio is going to still be out pretty much. Their set pieces are very good. That's where they do score goals, so I am going to be again a bit concerned about that. Corners, we haven't conceded for one yet, I don't believe still, but they've also not conceded in the last 4 games, so I think it's going to be quite a tight game. My score prediction is going to be 2-1 to Tottenham. Come on, you Spurs.
Nice one, Mia. Honestly, really well-rounded prediction there. Covered a lot of it. And she even, addressed probably the one thing she didn't want to talk about, which was the midfield. So, well done to you, Mia. I think Højbjerg is likely going to be, maybe some people might have to cover their ears here, but he's probably going to be the most obvious candidate, to put in that number 6 position. I think Ange leans on Højbjerg pretty much more than any other midfielder, probably off the bench this season. I think Gio, of course, has been often injured, but even when he has been available, he's still gone to Højbjerg first most times. Yes, he threw in Skip, in recently, but that was more kind of a rarity. If you ask me, I think that was a bit of a surprise to all of us because he kind of hasn't favored Skip all that much. So I think Højbjerg is going to be sort of the obvious choice for Ange. He's leaned on him a lot this season, and let's hope that Højbjerg can provide a good performance. What I would say, with a tiny bit of an asterisk, is I think Højbjerg's had some amazing performances when he's actually come off the bench, whereas sometimes maybe starting games, they haven't been his best performances this season. If you looked at his best performances this season, I think they've actually been more off the bench. But that's coming off the bench sometimes in the 30th minute or in, right at halftime. It's not like he came off the bench, for 15 minutes and had a good display. He's had good long periods, and he's had already a lot of minutes under his belt this season.
I was actually willing around to say Zinedine Salzburg, go on, Mia, just put him in the midfield.
Just say it.
But look, I love our commitment to the cause for sure. Look, Jack, when it comes down to Højbjerg and Skip, I think you've got to weigh it up. Who sits in that deeper position? Who do you have more trust in to progress that ball on more occasions than the other player? Højbjerg or Skip? And for me, Zinedine Salzburg, I'd actually argue that's where his role is in the Conte team. Giving him the ball deep and letting him progress it from there. When you play him in the 8, which we did the last time he started, you put more onus for him to be a bit more creative. And look, he's just not that sort of guy. He can do it, but he can't do it on the sort of consistent basis that you need in that role. So for me, I think he'd be fine in the 6. And me personally, I put more trust in him to be able to progress that ball from that position, and also sort of give that back line a bit more protection than what I would Ollie Skip. If you also want to take it against Middlesbrough, Skip came on and done absolutely nothing. When he ventured forward, he looked absolutely clueless. He put a ball into the box when he should have shot. He was already in the box, put it across the box when he should have shot. Just goes to show how brain dead he is. You look at Højbjerg when he came on. Good passages of play down either side, to get progress us up the pitch when we were down to 10 men. So just on that basis alone, I'm putting Zinedine Salzburg in there. He's a much better player than Ollie Skip, in my opinion. But look, interesting stat by me as well, that we haven't conceded from a corner kick. Great stat, but I would also maybe say that we have been a bit lucky. It's just when I watch corner kicks come into our box, 9 times out of 10, they do seem to win that first header. I think we're just lucky that most of them tend to go over the bar, which helps us out a lot. But the longer we don't concede from a set piece, hopefully the more confidence it gives the squad to be able to deal with them.
Yeah, and there have been some tough tests so far when it comes to set piece teams, and fair play to us at the end of the day.
More impressive.
It does, and I'm very surprised by that stat. Really great prediction actually from Mia, I must say.
Today, Mia.
Yeah, she came off. She got a lot out, in a short space of time as well. So fair play to Mia, and I think we'll see who else can. See if they have a different sort of take on things. But big up to Mia and Spurs Between the Lines.
Yes, guys, Sean Butler here from the Spurs Talk Show. This is my Tottenham versus Everton prediction. Guys, I'm pretty sure Tottenham will find this one relatively comfortable. I don't want to sort of tempt fate, but I'm predicting 3-1 victory for Tottenham. I think if Everton can continue their run of form and continue to pick up points, then it's going to be because of mistakes in our lack of conversions at our side. I think that we need to find a way to convert those chances that I think we will be able to create, even though Everton will sit in and do a frustratingly low block. And I think Everton will be dangerous from set pieces, but ultimately I think if Tottenham play as well as they have been at home recently against Aston Villa, West Ham and Newcastle, the main difference in the three being against Newcastle, everything clicked. I think then we'll be okay. I think Tottenham just need to come at this game with the same sort of intensity, and we hopefully can keep the momentum going with our strong, relatively recent run of results against Everton. We usually do well against them at home, and I think we will this time as well. 3-1 Tottenham, Richarlison to continue to get a goal, Sonny to score, and Decky for the third. Come on, you Spurs.
Big predictions all around from Sean. He went for every goal scorer there, Dave, and he thinks Richarlison will score again. He also mentioned that we do have a good record at home against Everton, whereas I believe away from home, right, might be more of a different story. I think they have, kind of caused us to trip up from time to time. But maybe at home, I think he might be right. I remember some comfortable wins against them in the past whenever they come to our place. So, and I'm one of those guys, believes a bit in the football gods, and sometimes it's just when it comes to that sort of thing, maybe it ends up being an easier sort of game than what sort of, the context of the recent, sort of fixtures and the recent sort of form might be into it. But he gave us all the goal scorers, Dave, Sonny, Richie, and I believe Decky.
Well, look, the three of them have been on absolutely fire lately. You look at Son taking the game to Newcastle, Middlesbrough. Decky, 1 goal, 1 assist against Middlesbrough. Richarlison, 3 goals in 2 games. So, the forward line hasn't clicked for quite some time, but it's back now. It's starting looking like they're starting to click. And for me, hopefully it clicks against Everton, because again, it's going to be similar to Forest. It's going to be frustrating. Very good chances are going to be hard to come by. So whatever chances we do create, we're going to have to take. But look, I'd love all 3 of them to score. Sonny would be a great Christmas present to every Spurs fan out there, the captain delivering. Kulu, again, a lot of fans, I absolutely adore the kid. I love his new celebration that he's adopted, the masked man. You can't see me. He's definitely going to score. And then Jack, what better way to end off the Christmas period with a prue. It'd be absolutely brilliant, regardless of what people think of Richarlison. They can't deny that the celebration brings them a lot of joy, and it turns adults into young kids again. So I'd love him to bag one against Everton. I also think it'll do his confidence the world of good going forward. A goal against Everton, or maybe a couple, will put in his mind, because I've no doubt he's still questioning it. Did I make the right move? Can I play at this level, at this step up? He scores 1 or 2 against Everton. That'll confirm it in his own mind and hopefully really kick him on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Let's hope that we're pigeon dancing this Saturday, everybody. Prue indeed. And let's see if Jim and Kate are giving us a prue prediction. Big up to Kate. And let's see it from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. Great channel.
Let's go.
Hi, it's Kate and Jim from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. My prediction for the Everton game is, I think it's going to be a really tough game, considering we've got quite a few players out. However, I do think we will nick the game 2-1. I think Richie will score, and also Sonny will score in a tight, hard-fought win. What do you think, Jimbo?
I think it's going to be a nice, easy, smooth run, 3-0, and we're going to be laughing all the way to the points. Come on, you Spurs, we can still win the league.
Come on, you Spurs.
They're the best to probably have, together as Spurs fans, because I think Kate, she comes into certain games with some reservations, and then, Jimbo, he's just thinking, we're going to smack them, and we're just going to send them right back to where they came. I'm liking, a 3-0. I also like, a bit of sort of maybe calm, maybe a bit of sort of kind of reservation as well from Kate there. I think she still went for a win, if I recall, but she thinks it's going to be a little bit closer, but even Jim was shaking his head, when he was hearing some of her prediction, Dave.
I love it. I'd say there's some arguments on game day. Jim wakes up, come on, we're going to smash them today. And Kate's like, Jim, stop being deluded. It's going to be harder. But no doubt, look, they come together for the games, and ultimately they end up enjoying it. And it's great to see 2 people with passion for the club, especially since they're together. When you have your hobby or your passion as well as your relationship together, it can create chaos, but it's great to see that they embrace it together. But look, I like the way Jim said we can still win the league. Personally, I still harbour them ambitions silently. Personally, I still harbour some of them ambitions inside. I look at it. You know, we're only 6 points off the top. They're playing each other this week, and some of the other clubs inside the top four play each other over the next couple of weeks. There's a real opportunity for us with some kind of fixtures coming up to be able to put points on the board. So, Jim, let's go, and let's prove to Kate that she needs to get on the bandwagon and get on the train. We have a seat reserved for her. We're just waiting for her to join.
Start climbing up that league. Let's start doing it, and let's see what the Perch has to say from the Football Heritage TV. Big up to the Perch.
First in this week, Perchy.
Oh, well done to him.
How's it going, Dave? How's it going, Jack? This is the Perchy here from Football Heritage TV. You want some score predictions, but before that, I just want to say a massive, massive Merry Christmas to you boys, to all of your viewers, all of your subscribers. Merry Christmas to you all. Have an amazing time with your friends, your family. Just enjoy it. Football isn't the most important thing in the world. Your family is, but we all love the bit of football. So I've got the Tottenham Christmas hat on, and you want some predictions. I'm going Tottenham Hotspur 2, Everton 1. Goal from Kulusevski and Brennan Johnson for me. I've been really, really excited by Johnson and Kulu's getting into some really good form at the moment, playing down the middle. I was gutted for Johnson going off against Forest. But look, I'm going 2-1. Come on, you Spurs. And as always, everyone watching, make sure you are liking and subscribing to the Irish Hotspur. Big up to you people. Have a good one and have a Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace out.
Nice. That was class from the Perch there. Well done to you, sir. Great prediction as well. Love also the Santa hat, Dave. I'm not sure who did it first, but someone was, someone got it first and someone was stolen from, because now it's just become such a trend that everybody now has one. But in all seriousness, what do you say to the Perchy's prediction? Big up to him.
No, look, first of all, I want to give him credit on the array of pictures he has. Every week he seems to be in front of a different Spurs picture. And the one behind him, the old white Arlene, I actually have. So big up, Perchy. Great choice of picture. And happy Christmas to you as well, by the way. That was a nice touch. And to everybody. But look, it's... I think it's going to be hard for Jack. I can't get that out of my mind. Look, I'd love it to be an easy game. But as we know with Tottenham, they don't tend to do things easy. So look, let's get after them, Jack. Let's go for it, and let's see what happens. But great Christmas hat. I love the way Perchy got in the mood as well. You know, the festive spirit. It's good to see.
Always good to see. And let's head on over to the LTEL Cockerel. See what Jose has to say from Talk and Ball.
Jack and Dave and all the people at the Irish Hotspur. This is Jose from Talk and Ball. This is my prediction for the upcoming game between Tottenham and Everton being played on Saturday. There's no rhyme or reason to my prediction. It was a great result in the last game for us. Everton also had a good result. Everton have now won 4 on the bounce. We've now got 2 W's against ourselves from the last 2 games. We're at home, which is always good, and it's the game before Christmas, and I think that Santa will be coming bearing gifts for us. I think that we'll play positively because we're at home. Although Everton have been set up quite well by Sean Dyche and they know their system because he's been there for a couple of seasons, I still think that we're going to have too much for them, and there's no method behind this madness, but I believe that we'll come out 3-0 winners on Saturday. Call me crazy. As I said, Santa's coming bearing gifts, and I will want to wish each and every one of you a very, very Merry Christmas. Come on, you Spurs.
Big up, Jose. Great prediction. Merry Christmas to you as well. And 3-0 from Santa, I guess, is what he's predicting there. And I'll take a 3-0. I believe Jimbo as well went for a 3-0. There might have been also another person that went for a big score line like that. Might have been Sean, I think, did a 3-1. So we do end up conceding, but love a 3-0.
Do you know what? I'd take the clean sheet. I mean, last week was the first time we kept the clean sheet in 7 games, and you could see what it meant to Vicario. And what I love, actually, is you notice the way Vicario, after the game, got the whole back 4 together and embraced themselves. And what that'll do now in future is make them even more hungry to keep more clean sheets, bring that together in this fight for each other. It's absolutely great to see. And I'd absolutely love another clean sheet. However, Everton's set pieces from Dwight McNeil are right on top of the goalkeeper. And they've got Braithwaite, Tarkowski, Onana, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, all these big guys just bundling in on top. And I do feel like they'll get a bit of joy. And there's a reason why Sean Dyche does it, because usually yields a good opportunity, if not a goal, every single game. So I do worry about that. I'd love the clean sheet. That'd be the ultimate Christmas present. But I'd also take a 3-1.
That's also
and by the way, Jose is a very nice guy, by the way. He gave me a very nice phone call during the week. So big yourself up, brother.
Good man, Jose. Good to see you. And everybody check out Talking Ball. But now it's time for the Profitron.
Hi, this is Dermot, aka Dermatron from THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future. Look, we've got to beat Everton on Saturday. I want to go into Christmas 3 wins on the spin. Look, Friday's win was ugly, but you got to win ugly sometimes. You got to win when you're not playing well. Ange knows that. Look, we're missing Basuma. I feel he's let me down. He has to prove me that he's worth the shirt again. He needs to say sorry. He needs to show that. And the way he's saying sorry is giving good, clean performances without getting sent off. But Højbjerg will come in for him. Royale will come in for Destiny. Richie's going to be the key man. He's going to be fired up for this game against his old club. I think Richie's now starting to show us the form that why we paid him for. Maybe this injury being cleared up is the best thing for him. The pigeon dance will be dancing all the way to Christmas Day if he gets a brace on Saturday. I am going for a 4-0 Tottenham win. I think Tottenham will bowl Everton over. Though Everton have been unbeaten in the last 5 or 6 games, I just think Tottenham is not the place for Everton to go. They have to pick their battles to stay in the Premier League. Spurs will win. We'll continue our winning run. Thank you all for what you've done, Dave and Jack. For us Tottenham fans all during the year, Merry Christmas to you all. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange, we trust. Choo-choo.
In Big Ange, we trust. Choo-choo. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely fabulous prediction from the Profitron. 4-0. Wow. I mean, just give Sean Dyche an excellent humbling now, wouldn't it, Dave?
Oh, well, look, I'd absolutely love for 4-0. Personally, I don't see it, but... You know, Dermot has been known to be right in the times when everyone thinks it's going to be a tough game. So let's wait and see. Just on Richie, I mean, look, it could really go either way for the guy, right, Jack? You know, he could either be inspired, go on, get the couple of goals and sort of believe in himself, which I sort of alluded to, or the Everton players could get in his head, wind him up, and he could go and end up using that passion that he harbours inside and end up getting a silly sending off. So... Look, I just hopefully he can channel that sort of adrenaline in the right way in these games.
Yeah, he could play within himself, coming up against Everton, especially now back at home on some good form and everything like that. But we'll see how he does it. We'll see how he can handle himself. And I thought I'd go, with the Profitron second to last, and then go with, the guy who's been very consistent this season. Once again, we're going over to our man, Marlon Green. He's been very good this season with his predictions, and let's see what he has to say this time out. Not sure what he said about Forest. I think he said we would get over the line, or did he say we would have a draw?
I thought he said it was a draw, no?
Maybe he thought it was a draw, so I don't know. Maybe we'll have to start moving him up to the front, or something like that, Marlon. But, it kept you towards the back because, you've been very good this year. And Dave and I have been very worried by your predictions because, they've been so accurate. But maybe if you don't get this one right, we'll move you back into the middle or back into the front somewhere.
We'll just ask Sonny. He seems to be keeping score, so no doubt he'll tell us who should be last. Probably Sonny. So, we'll take the Oracle status away from Marlon. He has to get it back.
He's got to get it right this time. Pressure's on, Marlon.
Hello, Dave and Jack. It's Marlon from South UQuest TV. It's that time of the week again. It is prediction time. Jeez. You saved the best till last time. You won't admit it, but you saved the best till last. No, I'm only joking. Weird. Just seem to be getting them right at the moment. But guess what? This one's hard to predict, Everton. I have to say, it's hard to predict. With our suspensions, with your doggy out, and Basuma stupidly getting sent off. And Everton on form, but it is Everton to us. And same way Man City struggle with Spurs, so do Everton. I think it's like 1 win in how long? It's just one of those records that no matter what team we have, we always beat Everton. But I'm not sure this week. I'm really not sure. So I'm just going for a scoreline. I'm not going for which way. I'm going for a scoreline. And it's going to be a scoreline I think could either go either way. But I'm going 3-2. It could be 3-2 Everton. It could be 3-2 Spurs. It's not a game we must win, but it's a game just to keep us in hunt for... We've got to keep up to pace with Villa, I think. Let's just do that. It's not a must win. We've done all that. It's just trying to get to February. 7 games till February. Injuries and crisis and whatnot. So let's try and get till February. Get our players back. Hopefully have a couple signings that Ange wants. But yeah, I'm going 3-2 either way. I'm just not... I can't predict this one. I'm so sorry. I can't predict this one this week. So yeah, that's me.
Hey, Jack.
Nice one. 3-2. I mean, it's one of those where I think he's just attached himself more to the scoreline than he really has to the side, where it could go either way in his eyes. So we'll find out. If it's not even close to a 3-2, Marlon, we'll have to move you back towards the front. But I think that was actually mentioned, right before we've recorded this, something like a 3-2 could be on the cards here. It could end up being a high-scoring game. And sometimes these sort of kind of games, between Everton and Spurs, but, more in kind of Everton's, case when we're over at their place, have been high-scoring games sometimes. But I don't know, at home it has been easy for us. We'll see. 3-2. Interesting. High-scoring.
Secretly, I think inside, Marlon wants to come out and say 3-2 Spurs. He just doesn't want to do it so publicly. But look, I love the approach, Jack. Expect nothing, and if you win, you feel like you've got an Everton, right? So, but no, look, if we get the win, Marlon definitely enjoy it, especially because he's not really expecting it. But look, I agree with him. I think it's going to be a tough game, and like I said earlier, Jack, both teams are going to have to fight for the right to play. Hopefully we come out the right side of that fight. Let's go. I'm pumped. Last game before Christmas. Don't let me down. Let's get the points on the board. And let's change the narrative around Spurs heading into the new year. Let's just... do you know what, Jack, actually? This month is all about believing, right? Believing in magic. Believing in the impossible. That the impossible can happen. If Spurs beat Everton on Saturday night, or Saturday at 3 o'clock, they'll give everyone that Christmas feeling, what it's all about. So let's go.
Let's go, indeed. Everybody, have a wonderful Christmas. Let's hope we have, a big win this Saturday, and we'll carry it into the Christmas day, carry it into the holidays, and then to the new year. Big game ahead. Let's try to spoil the day for the Dyche and for all the Evertonians and for the Toffees. Turn them into toffee, I believe, like Dave said the other night. And we'll be saying, come on, you Spurs, in the big Ange we trust. Hit the like button on the way out. We'll be saying, and also all the description or all the, the channel links, all that good stuff in the description and in the comments. As always, we'll be seeing you, everybody.